Hello, I am Rink staff, and soon you will be Rink staff too. Welcome to the Rink staff training video. Over the course of the next few minutes, we will teach you a few of the basic tools that you will need to be an effective Rink staff employee. First, let's talk about what to wear and what not to wear.
Always pay attention to the temperature. It can get cold while icing the rinks, but you will sweat when making benches and scraping the rinks. Layers, including a jacket, are very important. We highly suggest durable, waterproof gloves. Snow pants are a good idea, especially when digging benches, but not required. Waterproof boots are a must. The hose will get your feet and legs wet for sure at some point. And finally, wear a hat.
Perfect.
But be sure that your hat covers your ears. Mike's ears are going to be very cold from all of the water and snow that are blowing around in the wind. Here, we see that while Hazen's chin may be kept warm from his beard, not much else is covered, leaving him open to a cold, wet, unpleasant shift. Except for his feet, those are well covered.
Now that we have the proper attire, let's see what we will be doing. The first thing you should do when you get on shift is clock in. Come inside and let's take a look. To clock in, we use this machine up here. Let's see how some supervisors do their clocking in.
There are two ways to clock in. Hazen uses his Husky card to tap in, while Josh prefers to use his student ID number. Sometimes the Husky cards don't work, especially in the beginning. Once the system registers your ID, you must click the Clock In button. If accepted, you will see this screen. Don't forget to clock out with the same process when your shift is over.
After you've clocked in, the Rink supervisor will tell you what you will be doing for your shift. If you have any questions about what you're going to be doing or how you should be doing it, make sure to ask your supervisor. One of the most common jobs that you will be performing as a Rink staff employee is making ice, or upkeeping the ice that we have on the rinks. So let's take a look at each individual person as they work on the rink.
The hoser is the main person icing the rink. Once the hose is brought to the rink, the hoser will start in the far corner with the hose. Unscrew the tip to open it, but be careful, it applies a strong force when first opened. Open it enough that you have a good cone of water, not a jet and not a mist. When ready, hold the tip over your shoulder furthest from the rest of the hose. Josh has it on his right shoulder. And hold the slack in your other hand, as Josh does. This will help you keep your balance. Move the nozzle back and forth, as Josh is, and cover about the width of 1.5 boards. The faster you go, the lighter the layer. Ask your supervisor how heavy you should lay your layer. When turning to make a pass the other direction, watch how Josh flips the hose to his opposite shoulder. Try not to ice the boards. The second person on the ice has two main responsibilities. The first is to keep the hose out of the way of the hoser. We don't want him or her tripping backwards on the ice. The second is to keep the hose out of the fresh water. Thin layers can freeze fast, and this will lead to uneven playing surfaces. Notice how the hose barely touches the ground to avoid pulling the hoser. The third person stays off the rink to pull slack off the rink, but also to give some slack when the hoser is moving away. Again, this keeps the people on the ice from tripping, and it keeps the hose out of the fresh water. At the end of the rink, watch as Josh gives Hazen the nozzle so that the hoser can get off the rink before the third person finishes the near corner. When all the rinks are done, someone must turn off the hose while the hose is open to allow remaining water to exit, preventing freezing. When winding up the hose, there are two main jobs. This can be done in many ways, but the method you see here was our favorite workout style method. One person stands behind the spool and continuously rotates the spool away from them. This takes a lot of effort, especially as more hose is returned. Let's appreciate some of this effort. The second person in this method lines up the hose for an orderly return to the spool. This is important to ensure easy unraveling for the next time you ice. Near the end of the hose is a connector. The second person, as well as someone helping outside, must tell the winder when to slow down to ease the connector into the hole. Then again when the tip is hanging freely out of the hole, not on the ground, as we see here. Once the water stops dripping, you may continue winding the hose. The nozzle should be left open to drain into the drain in the trailer. Remember to close it when you first take it out next time.
I am Rink staff.
The other main job that you will have, especially in the afternoon or early morning shifts, is to shovel the snow off the ice. Let's take a look at some of the best techniques and details of this important job.
I am Rink staff.
When there isn't too much snow on the rinks, start by scraping it to the sides. Make a pass from goal to goal, and then push from that line to the sideboards. Angle your metal shovel towards the remaining snow, and align your shovel so that only about 1/2 to 2/3 of your shovel will hit the snow. These two techniques together will minimize the trace you leave. Sometimes you will get stuck by ice chunks or stuck snow. Try to push through and scrape it off. If there is too much snow, your supervisor will use the snowblower. With the snow pushed to the sides, it can be picked up with a plastic scoop shovel and tossed over the boards. These jobs can be done simultaneously with enough people, or they can be a team effort by scraping and then scooping, as you see here. With a big enough crew, you can do multiple rinks at once. Be sure to get as much snow off the rink as possible, especially along the boards. Any leftover snow will build up and get packed down by players, causing little ice ramps that will have to be taken down by you later. Watch as Josh makes a cleanup scoop along the boards.
Thank you for watching the Rink Staff training video. Now you are ready to be a member of the Rink Staff. And always remember,
We are Rink staff.